two brothers and sisters. I doubt very seriously that I could have afforded to go to college if I hadn't had a scholarship. So.
Well, that was a time you did leave Michigan State, and you ended up joining the Army. And at that time, you received paratrooper training, and you also were part of the Special Forces medic.
Right. I want to be clear. I did not gain a Green Beret. I took the medical training, but by the time I finished the training, in order to finish the last part of my training, I needed to have a certain amount of time left in the service. I was like 4 months short. I needed 18 months left. I only had 14. They said, you need to re-enlist if you want to continue your training. I said, I'll be more than happy to re-enlist for, say, 6 months. Add 6 months to my head. They said, no, you have to add 2 years minimum. I said, I have plans to go back to college. I already have a scholarship offer. I said, I'm not willing to do that. I said, but if you're willing to let me extend for 6 months, I'll be glad to do it. I don't plan to make a military career. Well, they tried everything in the world. They brought me before a board of officers. One of them called me a coward. The colonel in charge and offered to beat them all out behind the barracks after the flag went down, and we found out. I assume you do them and have honor. Maybe you'll fight me one at a time, and I'll take you all on after, if you want to see if there's any cowardice. Then, of course, all they did was dismiss me immediately and ship me to Alaska. His punishment was to be, I was still airborne, I was still a paratrooper, but the most horrible place they could ship you as a paratrooper was to Alaska. You never got to jump out of a plane up there. In fact, we walked everywhere. All the non-airborne guys got to ride in a truck. The paratrooper, to show we were tough, we walked. If we were going 20 miles for a bivouac somewhere, we walked. Everybody else rode in trucks. So that was kind of ironic, but that punishment didn't work anyway. I was there 4 months, and then I submitted an application to try out for the Army wrestling team. It was an Olympic year, and I was accepted. So I spent the next 10 months at West Point, New York, and we were like civilians. We didn't have to wear uniforms. We didn't have to get up at 6 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning. We were like civilians. We were detached to duty. I mean, it was great.
You were one of the top U.S. Greco Roman wrestlers. While you were in the Army, you competed on the All-Army wrestling team. Is that where you met a amateur wrestler, very good, who later became a legendary pro wrestler by the name of Baron von Raschke?
Yes. Jim Raschke was on the Army team, and we became fast. He's who I worked out with, because I was the next biggest guy on the team. I only weighed about 230, I think, 220 maybe. He was probably a solid 250. But this was 1964. In 1962, he had wrestled in the World Games. I'm not sure what country. Maybe it was Switzerland. guy named Larry Kristoff. He beat me 1-0. He was the freestyle Greco Olympic team champion. I mean, the guy who made the Olympic team. In fact, his coach, after the match with Kristoff, his coach was a guy named, well, it doesn't matter his name, he was a coach of Southern Illinois. He came up to me afterwards, shook my hand, and he was holding Larry, his guy, because they had to go somewhere. But he said, "I've never heard of you." He said, "Where'd you wrestle in college?" I said, "I haven't yet." He said, "You want a scholarship?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Okay." He said, "I'll get in touch with you." That was how I got recruited to go to Southern Illinois, where I ended up graduating from. It was like a 15-second recruitment. Yeah, fond memories.
Bob, you never know what door will open when you're doing something, because if you didn't go into the Army and you didn't meet Baron von Raschke, you may have never gotten that opportunity to wrestle there, and then all of a sudden be approached from Southern Illinois University to scholarship in wrestling, which is what you wanted to do anyway. What did you get your degree in?
Liberal arts. I started out pre-med from being a medic in the service. I had not taken chemistry or physics in high school, and it just started out so behind the 8 ball that I wasn't able to get the grades I needed in pre-med. You needed at least a B plus average if you're going to get into medical school at that time. So I switched to history, then to phys ed, and then because I wanted to travel, I spent my last year and a half in international political science. And what happened is I got to the point where I had enough hours to graduate, but I didn't have a specific major. I had moved around into 4 different areas. So it was just a liberal arts degree. Rather than science, it was more sociology type stuff. So it was a liberal arts degree, but it was a bachelor's degree, and I'm happy to have. I never used it, but I was glad to have it. I still got it. It helped when I went back to school to become a teacher. It was a big help.
It's always good to have that background and have that extra. You never know when you're going to need it. While you were at Southern Illinois University, you became an outstanding amateur wrestler and ended up making the Olympic team in Greco Roman wrestling and competed in the games in Mexico City in 1968.
Correct.
Now, you wrestling there for the USA, what was it like representing your country? And you also finished in 7th place, which is nothing to sneeze at.
Well, thank you for saying that. First comment, all of the above that you just mentioned is thanks to Jim Raschke. Thanks to Jim Raschke. Thank you, Jim. What it was to represent the country was an unbelievable thrill. Some wrestlers are like raving, they're like Wolverines. That's the University of Michigan mascot, but they're like raving. I'm not that aggressive a person, but to make the Olympic team was, an honor to be among great athletes. Just to be among them is an honor, and everybody uses the word honor lightly, but the feel of respect that you can feel, and camaraderie, and the common effort toward not just our individual goals, but to represent our country well. For our country, we were still in the middle of a horrible Cold War with Russia, the USSR. It was still the USSR. It had taken over all the Eastern European countries, Czechoslovakia and Bulgaria